My dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is Nirmal Waqar, and today our topic for the subject English Advanced is the essay Fire and the Heart of Man. Let us go through the characteristics of an essay first. The genre was started by a French philosopher in 16th century, yet in English literature with English essays, we consider Sir Francis Bacon, a British author, to be the father of English essays. He wrote such captivating essays that he became the emblem. He released his first book of essay in 1597. Sir John Squire, who is actually the author of the essay we are going to discuss, he was born as a British poet in 1884. He was also a writer, a historian, and an editor too. And he mostly discusses common experiences and common subjects of one's life. The essay is about the fire that the author had seen from his room's window when he was about to write another essay on a book that he had just finished. Yet, when he saw the fire, he started running towards it because he was worried. He was worried about the people. He was being knocked down by a neighbor as well who accompanied him later on. We are given a brief account of the whole scenario of the place where there was fire, and he had the view of that fire when he was standing over a bridge. Later on, he came close to the fire as well. He stood opposite to it, and he had a brief conversation with a few people as well. At the end, we are being told about the inner conflict that was going on with the author. He was negating the fire. He was against it because he feels that fire causes destruction. Yet, on the other hand, as an essayist, as the person who is able to write over all the trivial things and the grand too, he considers that fire itself is such a subject that a man with ability can write anything and everything over it, and it's a great subject for an author or a poet. So that is why I appreciate it too. All right, the study questions. What kind of people do the author disapprove of? It's what kind of people he disagrees with or he would refuse to agree with. He doesn't agree with those people who are senseless towards the miseries and calamities that fall on others. He doesn't appreciate those people who would not understand others people's problems. And he says that he feels that he won't like such people who would be busy spending their lives and not at all concerned about other people, that what's going on in their lives, if they are well or not. How did he manages to go to near the fire? It's after witnessing the fire from his room's window that he hurried towards the fire, and while moving towards the fire, he was knocked down by a neighbor too, who later on accompanied him. And then they crossed the river, the base houses, in order to get to the place that was on fire. And later on, they got to know that that was an enormous factory that had caught fire. Describe the scene of fire. Basically, it was all destruction when he witnessed it, when he saw it. He saw the factory when he was standing over the bridge, and he says that it was roofless. There were big, huge flames. Obviously, that was the great fire, that was because of the fire. On the other hand, he also says that at that time, when it was midnight, all dark, and those red flames were giving an image of a Greek temple. as if it was an old ancient worshipping place. So in a way, the scene itself was fascinating too. Yet he never appreciates people's destructions, people's miseries. How did the portly and moustached man react to the fire? It was his insensitive behavior that the author mentions in the essay. That I, the author was amazed on the moustached man's reaction when he said that this breeze, if it flows even harder, even faster, it can make the fire catch the other buildings too. So it was rather insensitive. His behavior was inhumane. How did the author react to the remarks of the portly and mustached man? The author got irritated. Yet again, uh, there was the that inner conflict that got aroused by the irritation too, because he disliked the way the mustached man had considered the fire. At the same time, the author says that I don't want to be a hypocrite myself. I do condemn fire. I do consider that it is very much harmful towards people. It is very much harmful towards the tools, the uh, um, all the material that was used over there. Yet again, it was fascinating for me being a writer. It's a great subject. So it aroused two opposing feelings within the writer himself. Still, apparently, we are being told, and it is being felt by the author, that he felt very much irritated by the moustached man's remarks. Thank you, my dear students.